Hello, potato. It is time to continue the march, the soup march. All month, all soup, void of intelligence, soup march. We have 11 soups left. It gives us 9 options to roll for on our Terran Empire Publishing die in our Once a Day Designs dice tower. I don't have a D9, because remember, these all count as 1. So I guess we roll a 10, or I guess we roll that 0 there, like we haven't yet. We'll have to figure something out. Maybe we'll employ the mystical magical coin to help us figure out what that means. So let's roll the dice and see which soup we're going to have today on the Soup March. And of course it didn't pop out. Looks like it is number 7. That is one of the hot ones. So I said we're going to do these as one. Just for reference, it does, in fact, say 7. Not faking anything here. We are leaving it up to the dice. So yeah, I said we're going to do these as one thing because they escalate in heat. And I didn't want to do like the hottest one before I did the mildest one. So we're going to do our A-Sha Hot Ones Sweet Chili Ramen Noodle Soup. This one says it's mild ramen noodles with a mildly spicy, sweet chili inspired broth. Ready in 3 minutes. Turn up the heat. Bonus heat pack. So I guess I will probably try it without that first, and then we'll turn up the heat and see how it goes. Hot Ones is the hit interview series that challenges celebrities to answer burning questions while eating spicy wings. Create your own Hot Ones challenge with our lineup of A-Sha and Hot Ones Spicy Ramen. This does have a boiling water and microwave instruction on it, so I'm going to do the boiling water, as is my wont. Pull lid back halfway, add soup base and seasoning into cup. Add heat pack to turn up the heat, if you dare. Add boiling water to fill line, close lid securely, let stand for 3 minutes, stir well and serve. Heat things up with A-Sha and Hot Ones. And there's a QR code. I haven't scanned it, but if you want to, you can. All right, so what's in this? Wheat flour, sugar, tapioca starch, water, chili. Chili's pretty high up there. And does that include the heat packet, or is that... That does not seem to separate the heat packet out to its own instructions. Ingredients. Soy flavor, tomato powder, garlic. Garlic's always nice. 280 calories per cup. And a fairly conservative 51% of your daily sodium. Now, to be fair, this is also like 100 and something calories less than the birria beef, which was like 78% of your daily sodium. So, yeah, you're getting less. So, I guess that makes sense. Let's open the lid up halfway. And so here is our bonus heat pack. I'm going to wait. I will try it without this first. Then I'll pour this in there, because I'm sure it's just chili oil. I like A-Sha's noodles. A-Sha's noodles are nice. They have a nice texture to them. They don't get super soggy. Here's our sweet chili seasoning. And here's our sweet chili soup base. Is that liquid? That is liquid. Nice. That's how you know it's quality. You get liquid. So do we have a fill line? We do have a marked fill line in here. That's good. So noodles. And you can see, I don't know if you watched the birria beef episode back on, would have been Sunday. But these noodles look very different. They have a very different texture to them than those Maruchan noodles. Honestly, the noodles were the worst part of the beef birria one. That would have probably, if they did have like better noodles, that would have rated higher. But I just have almost like an air, like a freeze-dried. I was gonna say air-dried, but that's possibly right too. Almost like a freeze-dried kind of a texture to them. But yeah, I've generally enjoyed A-Sha stuff. Even not necessarily always the flavor. The noodles have always been quite nice. So let me go grab us some boiling water. Is this the anchovy? Contains wheat, soy, and anchovy. Interesting. Produced in a line that also handles shrimp, crab, egg, milk. So this is not vegan. This is not vegetarian. It has fish in it. First we feast hot ones, yada, yada, yada. All right. So what's the microwave instructions? Microwave for 2 minutes, let stand for 1 minute, or boil for 3 minutes. Let's go grab some boiling water. Be right back. And we'll check out. So I would pour the stuff in now, but because I don't want the water to cool down, but I want to check out these seasoning packets before we do that, and I don't want to pour the liquid base in there before I'm ready to put in the water. Oh, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Because I want to try these. I don't want the water to be like cooling down while I'm doing that. So let's check out the sauce and stuff first. I mean, what's it going to do? It's going to make the end result just that much more flavorful. It's going to need more time to soak in while I boil the water. Maybe. I mean, I suppose I could just tip this up here so it doesn't leak, and then still do it all together. Here's our soup base. How thick is this? Pretty syrupy. It's really red, which, I mean, what do you expect from Hot Ones, right? Yeah, definitely, sweet chili definitely is the flavor. A little bit of heat, a little bit of heat. Yeah, there's actually some heat there. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that heat pack until we try it without it, just because there is, it's very little. It kind of reminds me of that chili sauce you dip like lumpia in. This doesn't want to open. Yeah, it reminds me of very much of that kind of sweet chili sauce you use for dipping things. That's the flavor I'm getting here. And here is our sweet chili seasoning packet. Let's try what the dry stuff is like. Looks like sugar, doesn't it? Smells very savory though. Wow. That is very salty. Very salty, and then some heat comes in. But very, very, very salty. I think there is some sugar in there too though, but very salty. All right, we'll grab some water and we'll put together our Hot Ones sweet chili ramen noodle soup for part 3 of Soup March. I am back with the kettle now, fresh off of the boil. So we need to add in our seasoning packets. Does it matter which order? I mean, it says soup base and season. Well, we'll put the seasoning in first because we're rebels here. Rebels during the Soup March. Yeah, see, there's little chunks of stuff. I guess maybe that's the anchovy. What are these little chunks? I mean, there's so few of them. I feel like I shouldn't waste one eating it dry, but it's like a little, it's almost like a little meatball. If I can, is that focused on that? It's as focused as I'm gonna get anyways. Oh, very crunchy. Not much flavor to it though. It's not as salty as the rest of it, I'll tell you that much. All right, let's add in our, it actually looks like that chili sauce too, doesn't it? When you pour it out, it looks a lot like sweet chili dipping sauce. I like that sauce, so that's that is not a bad thing. It's, the sauce here actually does taste pretty good on its own, so that's not a bad thing. I am surprised that there is heat to it already, because I was kind of thinking, oh, it's not going to have much heat because it's, one, it's mild, and two, they put this in there to make it hot. So, but no, it's got a little bit. It's definitely on the mild side of things. Let's add in our water to the fill line. Try to get all that sauce wet. Well, it's submerged now, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And all right, that's to the line. This is what, 3 minutes, right? Yep, let's stand for 3 minutes. So let's weight that lid down. And I will see you back here in another 3 minutes. It's another cut. 3 minutes are up. Let's see what we've got. Well, the noodles have definitely expanded. They have gone like right up to the fill line. They were actually quite a ways below it before. Let's give it a stir. Get some of that very, very red and oily looking, isn't it? I'd say more oily than one might expect from that spicy chili dipping sauce. Noodles didn't get, as much as they expand, maybe they were floating. Because as much as they rose up in the cup to the top of the liquid line, they don't seem to have gotten any thicker, which, I mean, that's not terribly surprising. So we have a good amount of broth in here. Let's try it without adding the bonus heat pack first. Let's get ourselves some noodles. Get ourselves some broth. And give it a sniff. The smell of the ramen itself somewhat mutes the scent of the chili. It's there, but of course it's not nearly as strong. There's like another very savory scent in here. But I think that may actually be the ramen itself. Let's give it a try. Nice, the noodles are chewy. Could be a little thicker. I like a thick noodle. They could be a little thicker. There was definitely heat in that broth. So yeah, this is, as the Hot Ones name might imply, this is not for the heat averse. And you can see here, yeah, it's fairly oily. There's a lot of oil floating in there. That's probably where a lot of that chili flavor is coming from. It's got a sweetness. It's not overpowering. It's not like American baked beans sweet. It's nice. It's not overly salty. It is definitely diluted that chili sauce, dipping sauce flavor that it had. It's a nice low level of heat. It's the hottest thing we've tried so far during Soup March. But I mean, that's obviously going to change. That should be very spicy. That says spicy, and that says spicy. Also, we have a red curry over here too, so we have a fair number of things that might be spicy, but this isn't bad. It's not my favorite A-Sha. Largely, these little meatball things. Now that they've hydrated, we can grab it. If we can grab it. All right, let's try one of those little meatball things. Very spongy. Kind of a meaty feel to it. Not much flavor to speak of, but a very kind of spongy, chewy, meaty thing. I guess that maybe it's anchovy, but it doesn't taste much of anything on its own. Yeah, this is probably not one I would get again. A-Sha has a lot of really good offerings, and this isn't necessarily like one of the better ones. Which is not to say it's bad. I mean, being a lower end A-Sha offering is kind of like being the worst Pixar film circa 2006. Even the worst one was still better than what a lot of people were doing. For me, honestly, sweet chili is not a flavor I generally look for in ramen. Sweet in general is not a thing I'm looking for usually in ramen. I generally prefer my ramens to be savory, so that's probably part of it. But honestly, I wish it had a thicker noodle. Because A-Sha has some really good thick noodles out there, and this is not... This is better than like the Maruchan noodles. It's not like getting as mushy as those got. Those got very overdone very fast. This isn't really having that issue. Just, I wish I had the noodles that were a little thicker, give you a little bit more chew to them, you know? It is a very oily broth. That is actually not a bad level of heat. It's spicy. It's not uncomfortably so. It does get a little hotter as you eat more of it because, the oil is just kind of coating your mouth over and over, which does make me, admittedly, a little bit concerned for smoky chili there. Because we're on mild, we're actually fairly, I think a lot of people would consider this to be pretty spicy. Like if you, again, the Taco Bell mild sauce crowd is probably going to find this to be pushing, if not beyond their limit. But for me, it's very nice. It's a nice level of heat, but it makes me wonder if I'm gonna have an issue when we get to smoky chili. Also, just wonder if I have an issue with this. I'm really assuming this is just gonna be chili oil, but let's open it up and see. I honestly could eat this without adding any extra heat to it and be just completely content. There's nothing wrong with it the way it is, but let's take a look here. It's not chili oil. It looks like hot sauce. I'm gonna like sniff the spoon with a spoon. The spoon's covered in broth. It's got a little vinegariness to it. So yeah, this is hot sauce. This is actually a hot sauce packet, not a chili oil packet. Let's try that hot sauce. Pretty vinegary. Ooh, heat's coming up. Heat is coming up. This is, I'm not gonna put all of it in there. It's I mean, we're diluting it quite a bit, but that's already got a nice level of spice in there. It doesn't really need a ton more because this is my lunch and I would like to be able to enjoy eating it. Actually, I think I did put about the whole packet in there. It's a very vinegary sauce. It's got a much stronger level of heat than this had by default. It's very familiar tasting. I think I've had this sauce, but I think I did actually put almost all of it in there. Oh well. I feel like I've had this sauce before. It tastes very familiar, but I can't figure out what. I think maybe I've had it for Christmas tacos. I've had something like this. Is it habanero? Yeah, they don't put on here. I mean, it tastes a little like a really spicy, thicker Tabasco. So I guess it's just the chili. I guess that's probably just that chili there. I wish they'd separated it out as its own bit of ingredients, because I'd like to know what exactly is in here. But all right, we've added some extra heat now. Let's give it a try. See if I've just ruined my lunch or if I'm still good. It's a very different flavor though. It's a very different kind of heat than the chili sauce. It's not sweet. It's very vinegary. I mean, comparatively, it's not the most vinegary hot sauce ever. It's something I actually would eat that sauce like on tacos or something. All right, here's with the heat pack in. Let's give it a try. Do that make it hotter? It doesn't seem to have affected the flavor very much. It may be a little tiny bit hotter. It was actually already a pretty decent amount of heat in there to begin with for mild. I'm trying to think if it's taken any of the sweetness off or not. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out here. And maybe a little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of sugariness there. I don't actually think this has made the whole thing much hotter. Because again, it already had for mild heat, it already had a pretty good amount of heat to it. Unless I wasn't supposed to pour it on. Was I supposed to just like put it on my spoon? No, it just says add heat back if you dare, so. And that's from before adding the water. So maybe that's part of it too, maybe because I didn't add it before the water. I do feel like when we get to smoky chili there, I am not going to be adding the heat pack to it. If this is where we are at mild, then I feel like hot from Hot Ones may actually push my limits. Well, this isn't bad. I don't know if I'd buy it again. Honestly, the one I'm looking forward to the most here from the A-Sha's is the garlic chili, because I like garlic. And I really have high hopes. I mean, obviously the noodles are going to be the same, so it's not going to have the best A-Sha noodles. But I'm hoping the flavor. The sweetness on this is detracting for me. So rating it 0 to 10, I don't think we'll have any zeros here. I mean, if we do, I think it's going to be that one. But I'm going to give it a, what did I say the birria was? The birria I think was a 6. I'm going to give it a 6 as well. The birria was a 6 because it was kind of just straight down the middle. This is a 6 because with better noodles, it would have probably been an 8. Or a better sauce. I'm just not a huge fan of sweet chili ramen. I'm a huge fan of sweet ramen. So you're kind of losing a point for not having chewy enough noodles. Again, this is all just subjective personal opinion. You might love these noodles, and that's fine. Obviously someone liked them. They made it through all the product testing to make it to store shelves. So clearly they tested well with some people. But the noodles could be better. A-Sha does good noodles. This isn't the better effort of noodles. And I'm just not a huge fan of sweet chili. I think, honestly, garlic chili, if that sauce is good, that broth is good, that could be an 8. but we'll find out. Like if the broth is good enough, that'll elevate it past losing a point for the noodles here. Well, I've already eaten half of it here on camera because it's still good. It's at least as good as the beef birria was, and that one, again, that lost points for its noodles as well, predominantly for its noodles. So yeah, we're gonna go with a 6 on this. It's got a good down the middle level of heat. If you like hot food, it's definitely on the lower end. If you don't like hot food, it might be a struggle for you. It's got an interesting, different flavor. I've never had sweet chili ramen before. It's got good noodles, but I know that A-Sha does better ones, and that's hurting it a little bit for me. And I don't regret buying it. I do not regret buying it. I probably wouldn't buy it again. Like if this were available in a case, like Costco, I would not get a whole case of it. There are other A-Sha noodles at Costco that are better. Or at least sometimes there are. They go on and off. So it's probably one of my least favorite A-Sha offerings. But again, that's like saying, of the original 3 Toy Story movies, which one is the worst? It's a high bar. So being the worst of the best is still pretty darn good. With that, I have pontificated on noodles for like 14 minutes here so far. So let's wrap it up so I can go finish my lunch. I hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and come on back in another couple days as we continue the Soup March.